guys, it's Brittany and welcome to my channel and welcome back to my Ask a Hairstylist Q&A. I asked you guys about 2 weeks ago to leave all of your hair questions, wants, and needs below that video, and you guys did come through for me, so I compiled all of the questions. I'm going to try to get through all of them in this video. If I don't, go ahead and leave more questions down below and I'll do another one in a few weeks time and make sure everybody's questions get answered. I think these are great questions to have anyway, only because people, you know, they either don't have a hairdresser or they don't feel comfortable with their hairdresser, which I think is the most horrible thing. If you don't feel comfortable with your hairstylist, find another one because you're going to click with one of them. You know, I click with most of my clients and we do bond, but there are those few. I want to say in 11 years that I worked at the spa that I'm at right now, I didn't click with 2 clients. One of them was really, really sick. She was a bride for a wedding and I was doing the trial and she didn't speak any English. So she was sick, she was a bride, and she spoke no English. So we just were not clicking. And then the second one was another bride actually, and I pride myself on my bridal work. I love my updos and I love my brides, but we just weren't clicking, and it happens, and that's okay. And I'll take those odds, what, 2 out of 11? I mean, 2 people out of 11 years, that's not too shabby. But if you are having a hard time talking to your hairstylist, find another one, and you will know when you find them because they're just going to get you. You know, you're not going to have to say much and they're going to understand your wants and your needs. But anyway, I do upload some of the pictures that I do, the work that I do at work on my Instagram. Follow me over there. That is my personal Instagram. And of course, we do have an eBay store as well. I'll link that down in the description box. You can follow that Instagram as well. So let's start off light and fun. Here are some of the pictures that I've done. This is some of the work that I do, whether it's highlights, updos, short haircuts, fun haircuts. I love all of my clients. So just so you know, this is what I do. A little backstory. My mom does hair as well. I grew up in a salon. I've always, I was breathing in hairspray since I was a little baby, and I started hair school when I was just 14 years old. And by the time I was 18, 1 week after I graduated high school, I passed my state boards and got my license. So I've pretty much been working ever since then full time, and now I am 32. I'll be 33 in May. So the first question is from one of my dear friends and my soul sister, Gina Schweppe. I actually answered the first part of her question yesterday via text. She was actually in the chair at the hair salon. Here's Gina's question. It is, what percentage should we tip for hair services? With color treated hair, should we wash out our hair in cold water, and how often should we wash newly colored hair? So I want to answer the first part first, and that is the percentage tip question. Of course, tips are not mandatory, but they are greatly appreciated. You know, they just tell the hairstylist or any service provider that you really appreciate them and the work that they put into their work on your head. We do not get all of the money that you put in the cash register. Normally it's a commission based. Some stylists only get hourly. So say it's a commission based and they get 50-50. So the salon gets 50% and they get 50%. That sounds like a lot, right? But your tip is what is the everyday money. So for example, when I go to work, they pay in, I do somebody's hair, they'll pay into the cash register, and that money will go, my percentage will come onto my paycheck. I take my paycheck, I deposit it into my bank, as most people do, and that bank account is strictly for my bills. I don't use it as tangible cash. I don't use it to buy food for the house, clothes on my back, field trips for the kids, special outings and treats, none of that. My paycheck at work is strictly for my bills. So those tips mean a lot to me. They are my everyday money. They're what, you know, puts gas in my car and food on the table. So tips are just that for a lot of people, especially my coworkers. So I could see that being nationwide. But so I don't get out of control. Like I said, they are not mandatory. They are appreciated. So whatever you find it in your heart, but the industry standard is 20%. I cannot make these answers this long. I'm just really passionate about hair, or we'll be here all night, so I'm going to work on that. Now the second part of the question is, do I suggest using cool water to rinse out color, and how often should you wash your hair? So the first initial color, a lot of times I will do a cool rinse, and that's mainly so if I do 2 different colors, they don't mix together, but it's not mandatory. You don't have to do that. Now if if you're at a hair salon and you're getting color, you can ask your stylist for a sealant. A lot of times a color line will come out with a sealer that at the bowl, it's essentially a conditioner, and it balances out the pH of the hair color and the cuticle together, and it just kind of seals that cuticle down and keeps the color in. I again would say that washing your hair daily is a personal preference. I don't wash mine every day. A lot of times I'll wear it down and curly, and then the next day it'll look like this, just crazy curly. I try not to wash it every day, as the more you wash your hair, the more oily it will get, but we'll get to that later. I think that's somebody's question if I'm not mistaken. And of course, always ask your hairstylist what they think, as all color lines are completely different. A lot of the questions I will be paraphrasing. You'll see the actual question on the screen. I'll go ahead and insert them, but in my little notebook I just paraphrased so I could have everything written down. But Connie B is one of my subscribers. I also subscribe to her channel. She does a lot of beauty things. I think she also does family dollar hauls, Dollar Tree hauls, just like I do. So check her channel out if that's something that you would be interested in. But Connie asked, is short hair, when you get older and you're aging, should you cut your hair? A lot of her family and friends are saying that because she's getting older, she should chop her hair off. And I would say do what makes you feel your best, Connie. You know, I always tell my clients that have that long hair and it's getting thinner or they're getting older, and they say to me, Brittany, my mom says I should cut my hair, or my sister says I'm getting older. You know, a lot of times that is the case. I would say if your hair is starting to thin out, definitely consider going shorter. I wouldn't go from, you know, down here to a pixie cut, but I would definitely go up in stages, because you're gonna find, although that long hair is your security blanket, as you get shorter and shorter, you're gonna feel even better. Your hair is gonna be more full once it's shorter. You have a bunch more layers. Actually, I believe Connie did end up getting her hair cut, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like talking about this, it's like a deja vu situation. But even if you didn't, and say you're not Connie and you're an older woman who's mature and thinking about, you know, I'm getting older, should I cut my hair? Do what makes you feel good. Don't do anything that you're not at least 90% sure of. You're always going to be 10% hesitant, but if you're anything less than 90% sure of getting your hair cut, colored, you know, anything done to your hair or your body for that matter, don't do it until you're like 90% certain. But I will say a lot of the clients in my experience, once we start going shorter, they always tell me, why didn't I start doing this sooner? So it's something to think about. So Shauna Campbell messaged and said, I've been going to an Aveda salon for 20 years. I'm ready to find a new stylist who would probably not be an Aveda stylist. I am nervous about the new person matching the Aveda color. What is your advice on matching color from Aveda, the same color from Aveda to another brand? Well, Shauna, I would say I am at an Aveda concept salon, and I want to know your reasoning. If you can comment down below why you want to get away from Aveda color, or if you just want to get away from that particular hairstylist, because a lot of times that can happen. You could just want to change from both of them. In my experience, and as I said earlier, I've grown up in a salon. I've used almost every single color line known to man, besides the boxes in like Target and Walmart. I have no idea when it comes to them, but I've used pretty much every professional hair color, and Aveda has been my favorite. It has the most shine, it lasts the longest, it has the best gray coverage, it's the most reliable, and also your stylist customizes every single color that they put on your head. So just really quickly, and I know I'm getting out of hand with these answers, but any other color line, let's say it's L'Oreal, they give the person, say you want a red brown, they give them a tube of red brown and they put that in the bowl, and then they put developer, and there's your color. Now with Aveda, I have to decide what darkness of brown you want to go. So say you want to go a medium brown, I'll put a level 5 in the bowl. And then you want red brown, so I actually have to add the red in there myself and decide if I want to add green, blue. Every single color that I put on my client's head is 100% customized, and that's one of the reasons why I love Aveda so much, is because I'm able to make my color, my client's color. No no two colors are the same when it comes to Aveda. So ask yourself if you want to get away from your hairstylist or the Aveda, but say you want to get rid of both. You want to get rid of Aveda too. They do have charts online that is a color conversion chart. So they can look at, say you use a 6.5 in Wella, they can look over and see which range of Aveda that is. So when we switched to Aveda from Wella, we had to do that to figure out which of our regular clients, what we would use on them. And basically I would pick the color. It goes almost like a multiplication chart. You go right over, it shows you what to mix, and you're good to go. So there are ways to figure out how to get the same color between lines. So we did have quite a few people that had hair loss questions, and this is such a broad answer. So let me just pull up here. We have Jackie Medina, Karen Jones, Tiffany Vaquero. There was a person, I want to say, I don't have the post pulled up now. I'll put her name on the screen. She offered up a lot of great information about hair loss and hair thinning. So number one reason why our hair is thinning is age. So as we get older, we start losing hair, and a lot of us just don't want to come to grips with that, and that's coming from within our bodies. That is kind of leading me into the number two reason, which is our hormones. Our estrogen level and our hormones are huge when it comes to it. I have a girlfriend who had super thick hair. I mean, I could only fit a hair tie around her hair one time, and I colored her a few weeks ago, and she's definitely a lot thinner, and that's because her OBGYN had her on a birth control that had no estrogen in it, and it made her hair fall out. So if your hair is falling out and thinning, that's maybe something that you want to look into. Me, myself, I cannot have estrogen because I have cancer history from estrogen in my family. So that's a problem with me. But I do know that as you get older, your hair falls out, and as your hormones shift and change, menopause, having babies, things like that, your hair will thin out as well. Now, there are topical solutions to this, but like I said, if it's a problem that's within, like your thyroid, maybe you have a thyroid condition, hormones, or your age, that's not going to work with, a product that you're applying to your scalp. But if you wanted to try a topical product, I have Forzia. I'll link that down below. It's a hair now skin pills. My clients have used that, quite a few of them, and they have noticed a difference in their hair. I've saw little baby hairs coming back in their hair, and I do believe it's from those supplements. Also, my mom and I both have really bad skin on our hands. It's eczema, it's like an eczema situation, and my mom started taking the Forzia pills, and it completely cleared up. So I definitely think that they're great. My skin has looked great since I've been taking them, so you can use that down below. If you don't want to take a supplement and you don't want to put a pill in your body, you can also use Nioxin. Nioxin is a 3-part system. So there's a shampoo, a conditioner, which is like a treatment, and then a spray, which promotes new hair growth. So you can pick that up as well. But those are just a quick couple options. If you have more questions about those products, comment down below, and I'll be happy to, steer you in the right direction. I don't want to get hung up on each question because I'm really giving loaded answers. Brianna Mountain Mommy, she had a question, and she said, why does my hair become a big poof when I try to do beachy waves? It's a little past my shoulders, fine straight, and was previously thick, but not much after baby. I have a 3/4 iron and a 1.5 barrel curling iron. So Brianna, this is kind of a hard question to answer because I don't have your hair to touch it and feel it. I would suggest maybe using some products. Have you tried using a smoothing product just on the ends, and then once you curl it, use a little bit of hairspray? That may help. Also, the 3/4 iron may be too small. That may give you too tight of a curl to make you have big hair. If you say a big poof ball, I don't know if that means, too much volume, or is it frizzy poofy? Shoot me an email and let me know, and I'll help you get to the bottom of that, so that way we can figure out a solution for you, because I really want to help you. I don't want you to feel like you're a big poof ball walking around every day. So Carol Peacock, she asked a great question. She has a bunch of baby hairs around her scalp, and she wanted to know if there was a specific haircut or product she can use. She has used grease, but it makes it oily, and she has used gel, but it makes it hard and sticky. Now, Carol, oftentimes when you have these baby hairs, they're here to stay. If if you've had them since you were a little girl, they are not going anywhere. So we basically just need to tame them. As far as a haircut, I mean, without going to a really short pixie, there's not much you can do about them. But I would suggest maybe getting a cream or some sort of pomade, because that has more of a creamier consistency, not like a gel where it's all alcohol and really stiff hard, or not like a grease where it's oily and it'll end up breaking out your forehead. So yeah, try a cream or some sort of cream-based pomade. That may help you. And instead of pushing them down on your forehead, try to push them back into your hair. If you wear your hair up, try to push them back into your hair. If you had these forever, I'm sure you tried to push them back before, but try it with the cream. I think that that may help. I didn't realize how hard some of these questions would be to answer without having, you know, the person in front of me or in my chair. So guys, bear with me. I'm trying the best I can to give you the best answers that I have, never once touching or seeing your hair. So MGH1208 actually asked about the thicker hair as well. So I already answered that question 2 questions ago. You can try the Forsia and the Nioxin and look into your birth control. See if you have an estrogen-based or non-estrogen-based, or just your hormones in general. Are you around the 50-some-year-old or 40 to 50 where your hair would be shifting a little bit? Just look at those kind of things. Thyroid. Thyroid is a huge one. A lot of times women end up either gaining or losing a bunch of weight and losing a lot of their hair, but it's going to come out very, very aggressively. Like, you're going to lose a ton of hair. But I would definitely have everything checked if it's concerning enough. Now, that being said, there are 3 phases of hair. It's growing, resting, and shedding. So you'll notice 4 months out of the year, they go in 4-month or so cycles, 3 to 4 months. You'll notice your hair grows faster for a specific 4 months. Your hair will shed a lot more, and then it will be it'll kind of be resting where it'll grow a little bit. You'll still have roots, but it's not like, oh my gosh, my hair is really growing. And oftentimes women confuse their shedding phase with their hair falling out. Like, hair has a system just like, you know, the circle of life. It's essentially the circle of life of hair. So it does have to shed and come out, and new hair will come. You just have to be patient, and always bear in mind that on average, we lose 120 something strands a day. So if you're losing a little bit more than that, you could be slightly over average. And of course, if you're losing a little bit less than that, not that you're going to count it, but a lot of times you look at a ball of hair and that's probably only like 30 strands of hair. So just keep that in mind. It is very normal to lose about 120 strands a day. My girl Karen Jones asked a question. Karen, I love you so much. Thank you for being super supportive. I love all of your comments. I just really appreciate you, Karen. So thank you so much for your question. It says, hi Brittany, so nice of you to do this. Kind of tagged in on a post below about hair loss and left questions there. But also, I would like suggestions on how to style my hair so the thinning isn't so obvious. My thinning hair is in the top front. Now, it's short after I blow dry it with mousse and I part it on the side. Let me see. I'm planning to lighten my hair as the light brown still shows scalp. Okay, there's a couple of things you could do, Karen. So you can always back comb by the roots, and that will kind of cover up the scalp a little bit. There's also a product called Toppix. It's Toppix. I have a few clients that I can see directly through their scalp, and they're really self-conscious about it, and they started using Toppix, and it's essentially just a powder you sprinkle into the openings of your hair, and it puts a powder on your scalp. So when somebody looks at you, they don't see a white scalp, they'll see the color of your hair. And I have clients that really stand by that 100%. So that's something that you could look into. And as I said, the back combing the roots as well, where you kind of back comb closer, and those little hairs will cover up the scalp as well. But like I said earlier, I would definitely check out from the inwards out. Maybe something's going on the inside that you're not quite aware of. This next question is from Expert in Business or something like that. Expert MMB Businesses. I have really oily hair. Just curious, what is a good shampoo to use? So first of all, Expert, let me just, do you mind if I call you Expert? Anyway, I have oily hair as well. And like I said earlier, I stopped washing my hair every day. And the moment I stopped washing my hair every day, your hair adjusts. Just like when you take a acne scrub cleanser to your face and you get rid of all the oils, you wake up with a breakout because your face is like, oh my gosh, we need more oil. Let me produce more oil. Sorry, I'm talking with my hands a lot. I think maybe that's what I do at work. I'm not sure. Anyway, like your face will overreact, and because you cleansed it and clarified it, it will produce more oil. So the more you wash your hair, if you're washing it daily, the oilier it's going to get. But I would suggest maybe getting a clarifying shampoo or even using dish soap once a week. So if you're using products throughout the week and your normal shampoo, once a week, take Dawn or Palmolive or whatever dish soap you have. If you don't feel comfortable with that, that's okay. You can go to the store and get a clarifying shampoo. I know Herbal Essences makes one, and use that in place of the dish soap, but it will strip your hair, and it's going to feel rough at first, and then you're going to condition it and you'll be fine. So if you're buying a shampoo that has, it's for like dry hair, damage remedy, anything like that in the title, it is not for you. Your hair is already oily. So anything that has like damage remedy or dry remedy or moisturizing, ultra moisturizing, that's going to be overly moisturizing for your type of hair, and it will produce more oil. It's like taking oil and putting more oil and pushing them together. You're gonna have like so much oil. So since you already have the oil, if you take just a daily, everyday shampoo and put it with that, it can kind of get that off of there, and it will balance out a little bit. And of course, you have to give your body time to adjust to the new shampoo. Also, when you condition your hair, condition it from the ears down. Anything from the ears up to your scalp is considered new hair, about 3 inches of new hair. Most of the time it's virgin hair. Even if it's colored a little bit, it's still considered new hair compared to the hair that's down here in the mid shaft and the ends. So condition that and not the top, and I guarantee after your body gets adjusted, it will stop producing so much oil. The next question is from City of Oaks. City of Oaks is actually the person that answered the question in the beginning about thinning hair. City of Oaks, thank you so much. You really sound like you knew what we were talking about, and I appreciate you helping out my subbies, because you know that's what we're here for, to help each other. So thank you so much for that. But your question was, my issue is that I have normally fine hair that's fairly straight. I'm over 50 and have decided that I'm tired of coloring it back to my natural brown. I used to color it myself from the color and developer at Sally's. I'm not having my current stylist, a longtime friend, highlight my hair with foils, if that makes a difference. Oh, I now am having, okay, to help hide my gray. My once silky hair, not in a good way, is now super rough. I like the highlights, but was wondering if you can offer any detanglers. Okay, so yes. Now, there's a few things here. She also asked me if there's something I could tell her to ask her friend slash hairstylist to do so it wouldn't be so rough, or again, I'm paraphrasing. So number one, City of Oaks, I would suggest maybe using anything moisturizing on your ends. Definitely get some sort of argan oil to get on those ends and make sure that they are being filled up, because right now you're just basically stripping out that cuticle. You're essentially pulling out the pigment when you bleach your hair, so you're leaving the hair. So, okay, let me give you a visual, guys. I'm so sorry. But the hair cuticle is like this. This is virgin hair. Now, when you start lightening the hair, the cuticle starts getting raised up, because it's getting raised up because the color is going in and taking out that pigment. The ammonia is doing that. But once it leaves and it does that and it makes it completely white or blonde, it leaves it like this and it has no pigment inside because now it's white blondes. But what happens is you can feel these guys on here. That's why it feels like rough, and that's why you start to see the split ends, because all of the cuticle is standing straight up like this. So you need some sort of mender. We can ask your hairstylist if they have Brazilian blowout. There is a split end mender. If she's kind of old school, she probably won't have that, but you can find something in the store, like I said, argan oil, to kind of get that cuticle to lay back down. Also, always brush your hair down, because that helps as well. I would say, as far as your friend hairstylist, you know, I mean, without being rude to her, you have to make sure that she's only bleaching what needs to be bleached. So if you come in and your roots are dark and the strand that she's highlighting is completely white, that white piece needs to be hanging out of the foil because it's already blonde. It doesn't need any more color. A lot of times I see hairstylists just putting lightener and bleach, but they're putting bleach on already blonde hair. So what are you going to do with that? It's going to go from yellow to pale yellow to white to translucent to clear to breaking. Like, you will have nothing left. So you need to make sure that she's not overlapping bleach. That is a great keyword. Just say that you were Googling and you were kind of looking for inspiration for your hairstyles, and you want to make sure that you guys are not overlapping bleach on color on blonde hair that is already blonde, because I guarantee that's where a lot of this roughness is coming from. I am 100% anti-breakage with my clients. I will not overlap blonde to save my life because I care about their hair. I always tell them my relationship with their hair comes first, and they're just an added bonus that they get to be my friend too. But I love my clients and I love their hair even more. And you know, overlapping the bleach is not good, and it will cause breakage if this is what's happening. If it continues, your hair will break off. And I don't want to scare you, but you know, that's how breakage happens. It's from overlapping the bleach on top of bleach. So we need her to stop doing that if that is what she's doing. But of course, if any other questions, comment down below. You can always shoot me an email as well. Mama Carolina asked if I know anything that would rid her hair of static electricity. So of course she said that she has used Static Guard and dryer sheets. No, dryer sheets work the best for a lot of my clients, but I would suggest just finding a good flat iron spray where you spray the piece and then flat iron it. That should help. Also, change your brush. If you've been using the same brush, a lot of times some of these brushes, like paddle brushes and such, carry some static electricity on them as well. Other than that, I would just suggest some argan oil and the flat iron spray. See what that does. Red Scale 21 asked if I know any hair colors like in the box that I would recommend, any brands, and that's what I'm going to ask you guys for help. She said that she watches a lot of couponers here on YouTube that use the stuff that they coupon for. So some of the colors, I guess there's like Revlon and stuff. But guys, if you color your hair at home, leave a comment down below for Red Scale and let her know what brand that you love and what color your hair is. So maybe she can go and shop that line in the store. I'm sorry, Red Scale, I don't use any box dye and I don't have any, I have no idea. I have clients that call me all the time. Maybe I just cut their hair in the salon and they'll say, I'm in the aisle at Target, what should I get? And I'm like, I don't know. So it is really funny, but I have no idea, but maybe my friends can help you down below. I'm sure that they will. Well guys, there you have it. That is my first ever Ask a Hairstylist Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my first one, so I will get better at like crunching down the answers a little bit. It's really hard not to give a full explanation of what I'm talking about or even visuals or examples because it's what I do. Like, I really love hair. It is my first love and my passion. I love eBay a lot. It's something that Rick and I do together, but hair is my foundation. It's where I came from. You know, my mom still has a salon and it's just who we are. We go to hair shows, we talk about hair. I call her, she calls me. I just love what I do. I love the people I talk with. Yeah, a lot of times by the time I get off work, I don't even want to murmur one word out of my mouth, but I truly love my clients. I consider all of them friends. So I do want to continue to do these Q&As. If you're watching this and you didn't see my first video, go ahead and leave a question down below. I'll be happy to save it for the next Q&A. But yeah, guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you all for watching. I know this is a kind of a different video than I make on my channel, so I do appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will, and I will see you all in my next video.